His Excellency Deputy Prime Minister of Vietnam, Mr. Vu Duc Dam, Minister of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs, or Molisa, and Vice Chairman of Vietnam National Committee of Aging, Mr. Dao Ngoc Dung, distinguished guests, and many friends. Good morning. It is really such a pleasure for me to be here today and have the privilege of being able to say a few words on behalf of the HelpAge Network at this opening of this very important conference. I have been part of the HelpAge movement for about 20 plus years, and I've been to 14th, I guess it's the 15th conference I've been to. And I remember very fondly when I went to the first one in 1996 in Macau. And other than the host, which is the Macanese government, the rest of us were maybe 30 scraggly people representing even fewer organizations trying to address the issues and needs of the older people. And at that time, I think all of us were quite aware of the enormity of the challenge of population aging, even though it was of very few interest or knowledge to many others. So for us, it was really quite a challenge. We were dealing with not just sort of the disadvantaged position of older people across the board, but as nonprofits, we're dealing with the poorest of the poor, frailest of the frail, with very little capacity, no financial resource, little knowledge. So the network was really powerful and important because when we get together every year, we get to cry on each other's shoulders, celebrate each other's success, learn from each other, and grow from it. And I know personally my organization has benefited a great deal from that network, from this network, and been able to help forward our work and hopefully in that way benefit the elders, at least in my country. And moving forward 20 years later, I stand here, and certainly things have changed a great deal. Right? Because I think aging, of course, the population dynamics marches on as anticipated and certainly present as challenges greater and greater beyond just a few disadvantaged elders that we were working on. But on the other hand, it became very clear there's a tremendous challenge to policymakers, families, media, social organizations across the board. So on the other hand, Asia has also grown a great deal. It's developed economically in the capacity in many, many ways. So while the economics of Asia drives many aspects of our life, the notion of population aging and issues of older people is no longer the domain of a handful of the nonprofits that worked in the past, but became the domain of all. So I think it's wonderful to see this recognition that this issue of aging has become center stage, not peripheral, but center stage that has a great impact on Asia's development, our country's development overall. And of course, we know that each of our nations are very tied with each other in this region, so it's very much a concern for the region. So I'm very happy to say, though, however, aging, well, it went through a period where it became sort of a doom and gloom, all the burden of aging, all the costs and all this sort of thing. The narrative has changed. Increasingly, we recognize that firstly, for us to continue to develop as nations, we cannot be benefiting only some citizens and not all citizens. That all citizens, as the minister has said, must benefit throughout the life course and include our older people. We also recognize that extra 20 years, when the life expectancy was used to be 50 years, now it's at least 70 most of our countries and more elsewhere, that this extra resource cannot be wasted. As a matter of fact, we need to invest in it throughout our life. Of course, we can benefit from the extra longevity. So instead of burden, we now talk about opportunities of longevity, the benefits we can reap, so that when we live through our life, our countries thrive and every citizen thrives. So I think this is a really, really exciting time. So it's very befitting now, instead of 30 people in Macau, we have now 300 people from 36 countries and from different areas, not just nonprofits, but certainly government, the multilateral agencies, academics, media, business. So it's really, I can retire now because this is a very good time. So at this moment, I really just want to, on behalf of HelpAge, thank our host, for our very gracious, generous host. I think the government of Vietnam, in particular Molisa, and for making this meeting very possible for us, and your generosity and commitment to older people has been wonderful. It's been a wonderful partner for HelpAge. And actually also want to, on that level, thank all our other supporters on behalf of HelpAge. There's quite a significant list. I have to make sure I remember everybody. I was proud to acknowledge a partnership with UNFPA, which has a co-host with HelpAge and Melissa. And I think UFMBA has been the one UN agency has already committed to aging, and over the years has steadfastly worked towards ensuring the well-being of older people in the scope of demographic change. So we want to thank you for that. And I think HelpAge and all our members cherish the strong partnership that this has been established with UNFPA. And so, of course, in closing, on behalf of HelpAge Network, I would also like to recognize the support of the European Union, the LIFT Consortium in Myanmar, Age International, WHO Vietnam, as well as the Asian Forum for Parliamentarians on Population and Development, for enabling the participation of so many of us from across the region. So finally, I hope that during these few days together, we will discover together new perspectives, think new thoughts, forge new connections, make new friends, and recognize the opportunities of creating together a new future. We all know through science that aging is not the same as before. We live longer, healthier, we actually age later, biologically slower, and it's not the same thing. We can create a future together that we not know now. So with this, we hope that HelpAge, who has always participated in making these constructive changes, will be able to participate even more in creating that new future for ourselves. Thank you very much.